Welcome to Springdale Today. We've got another tremendous program for you. You're going to hear about three people who are very prominent in the Springdale School District, including Al Lopez, who is the liaison with part of the community in the Springdale District. Also, part two of the interview with Hartzell Jones, the retiring deputy superintendent, and a special interview with the superintendent, Dr. Jim Rollins, plus some student videos that you're going to like as well. That's all coming up, because if it's happening now, it's Springdale Today. Springdale District TV has been doing a lot of work this semester, and in fact throughout the entire year as Trent Jones's program has gotten underway and having a very good first year. One of the things they've done are PSAs for stamp out smoking. You're going to see all four of them right here. It only takes a couple of minutes. Enjoy this good work by District TV students.
The first time you make the decision to use smokeless tobacco, you're making the decision to have a potentially lifelong addiction with negative consequences. Is it worth it to have bad breath, yellow teeth, cancer? Smokeless tobacco has 3 times the nicotine compared to cigarettes, making it that much easier to get addicted as it is absorbed directly into the bloodstream. Is it comforting to know that you're putting something in your mouth that has 28 known chemicals to cause cancer? Just because it's smokeless does not mean it's harmless. This is the last one.
Whoa! You smoke? That's disgusting! Come on, guys, let's get out of here!
Ruined my day! No!
Why would you do this to us? You told us you would stop.
Calm down, it's not his fault he's dying!
It is his fault, Mom. You should have quit smoking.
It's an addiction, it's not like you can just quit! Stop it! Just all of you stop it, he's dying!
It doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you.
Students from Springdale High School and from Har-ber High School also participated. Great work. We hope you enjoyed that. Next up is a look at one of the community leaders, our own Al Lopez. Stay tuned.
What am I going to study?
What class is going to help me reach my goals?
What are my interests, skills, and dreams?
Have you thought about your career goals? Have you asked yourself these questions? Answering these questions will help you decide what classes to take to reach your career goals. Most jobs or careers require additional school and training, so talk with your parents, set an appointment with a counselor, and get to work, Arkansas.
For several years, Al Lopez has been a great liaison to the Hispanic community in the city of Springdale. He works with a lot of students, a lot of parents. He really is one of the leaders in the city of Springdale. We hope you enjoy this feature on Al Lopez.
This week in our Springdale Leadership section, we learn of the growing success of Al Lopez, also known as Papa Rap in our Springdale community. Coming from Puerto Rico to the United States, there was a big change in his music career because he had the chance to experiment having 2 languages in his songs.
You have a new community that's moving into our area that speaks Spanish, and many of them did not speak English. I was bilingual, so that opened doors in the way of the workforce to be able to help a school district communicate with parents, and then them allowing me to use my music as a resource to do that.
Feed your brain. Alimenta tu cerebro. Feed your brain. Alimenta tu cerebro. Feed your brain. Alimenta tu cerebro.
That was the special thing that said, I want to stay here, because here I learned that I could write in English and in Spanish. In Puerto Rico, all I wrote was in Spanish because that's what I needed to do up there. But here, in order to reach more people, I said, well, I need to do it bilingual.
Coming to Springdale, he was not only able to use his talent of creating music to reach out to people in the community, but also to impact school kids' lives.
The part that we love the most, that I enjoy the most, and I'm sure DJ Torre does too, is when we go to schools, especially elementary schools, and do our school assemblies in dual language, you know, English and Spanish, and we throw a little bit of Marshallese, Jacque, como tata, and then the kids, yes, you know, they glow, because then we realize that every child, you know, would love to speak 2 or more languages, you know, and what parent would not want that for their child? We bring a little bit of breath of fresh air in the way that they like with the music. That we take rap music and turn it into, you know, positive message with a lot of conga drums, and so we add that Latino ingredient into it. So it's kind of like mixing it up and making it together, you know, telling them, hey, together is better.
Al Lopez is only one member of the team. Jose Torres, his longtime music partner since high school, work together to connect the Springdale community through their music.
We want to get students to read at their grade level. So by the time they get to 3rd grade, they should be up to where they need to be. And again, we want to take that message to different parts of Springdale, different schools, so that way we can motivate those students so they can start reading at home, and you know, so they can go to the library, so they can read with their parents, so the parents can learn how to read with them.
He's just been my musical brother. He's been the person that, you know, I can't write music. I can produce music, but everything that I do is, for example, I think about a bass line and I'll sing it. You know, boom, bang, boom, bing, ba, ding, bang, boom. DJ, I like it. And then he goes to the keyboard, boom, bang, boom. So he interprets what I do, and we start creating this song. And for me, it's still like magic, you know.
The Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation from Springdale, Arkansas inspired them to pursue their current project that involves working with the students and their parents.
I'm working with the district, Springdale, you know, because I work for Springdale District, but also working with a nonprofit that I'm a co-founder called One Community. So bringing one community in the district together, developing this concept of these songs so we could eventually go to schools and continue to promote within not only our schools, but with our families.
When uncle reads and auntie reads, boys and girls, they also read.
Because if it's like a punishment, you got to read today. Remember, you have to read for an hour. Then it's a punishment. Then it's not fun.
Al Lopez and Jose Torres are now part of the new Springdale District Communications team and bring decades of experience to the table. Their work can be seen on the Springdale Schools webpage and all the social media outlets. For SDTV, I'm Crystal Hernandez.
Al's a great guy to work with. The office is right here in the Springdale TV District building, and it's a pleasure to work with Al Lopez, who works with so many students and parents. You'll probably remember the first part of the interview that we did with Hartzell Jones. That was a couple of weeks ago. Now we're going to get to hear part 2 of that interview with Hartzell. He's retiring at the end of the year. You'll hear from Hartzell Jones right after this.
At the beginning of high school, students and their parents should visit the high school counselor to create an education and career plan. An education and career plan will help you choose classes that will prepare you for college, technical college, or a career. Planning your education will help you meet graduation requirements. Studies show that students with an education and career plan have a clear vision of their future. It all begins here.
Go to the Arkansas Works College and Career Planning System.
For more information, go to www.arworks.arkansas.gov and click on the College and Career Planning System.
Hartzell Jones has spent 44 years in public education. He's been in the Springdale School District longer than any other employee. But his last day will be June 30th. We caught up with Hartzell Jones. Here's part 2 of our interview with the Deputy Superintendent. Welcome to the administrative segment of today's program. If you were with us last week, I hope you really enjoyed that first segment with Hartzell Jones, the Deputy Superintendent of the Springdale Schools, who's retiring after this year. And this is part 2. And Hartzell, Deputy Superintendent, you throw that name out there and a lot of people think, well, what is that? I think of it as you solve every problem in the district. What is the most difficult aspect of your job?
I'm in charge of personnel, so the rest of my title is Deputy Superintendent for Personnel. So I'm involved in the hiring and the conflicts involving our staff throughout the year. I'm also in charge of a lot of general administrative duties. One of those is having to do with balancing classes when school starts, and our growth is such that every year we have kids coming in and enrolling in school almost every day, and sometimes we don't have room for those youngsters in the school and the grade level that they live close by. So it's my job to find a school with space in that grade level for them, and then we'll transfer those kids to those schools. So that's the hardest part of my job is asking those kids to move from the neighborhood school to another school in the district. Even though all of our schools are great, it's just the idea of a child not being able to attend a neighborhood school because there's no space available. And again, that's because of our growth. When we grow 700 kids a year, we fill up very fast, and so some schools will have some space and some won't. It's my job to find where space is available and get those kids enrolled as soon as can.
When you moved into administration in the central office in 1983, could you ever have envisioned the Springdale School District being the size it is today?
No, sir, not at all. We probably had 6,000 kids or so, which was a large school district in the state then. We probably were ranked about 6th in the state in size at that time. We were behind Pine Bluff and Fort Smith and North Little Rock. That quickly changed to the point that today we're a little behind Little Rock to be the second largest in the state, and we're closing on Little Rock as well. So we've passed Fort Smith, North Little Rock, Texarkana, Pine Bluff, and all those in size. So no, you don't think that far ahead. I think back to our first Chamber of Commerce teacher reception that they've had every year for teachers in August. And our first teacher reception was at Springdale High School's cafeteria.
Wow.
So we had our entire teaching staff in that cafeteria at that time. And we quickly outgrew that. Then we went to the Rodeo Community Center, quickly outgrew that. And then luckily the Holiday Inn Convention Center opened up, and so we were able to access that. But even since then, at one time we had our chamber reception out there all on the same day, and we've grown too large for that. So now we have to divide it up, elementary and secondary, on separate days to accommodate the size of our staff. So no, that's happened, over the time, but it's been interesting, and I never will forget the year that we opened 3 new schools in the same year. That's never been done in the state of Arkansas. People have opened new schools pretty often, but not 3 in the same year. And that was quite a challenge for us, but we opened Hunt Elementary, Helston Middle School, and Har-ber High School at the same time. So that was just an indication of how fast we're growing and changes are coming down.
Well, when you see the size, it is absolutely astonishing to see that, and the community changes and everything else through the years. You've seen a lot. You've worked with one superintendent since you've been in the central office. That also is very unusual. Is it difficult to step away from that situation where you're not only colleagues and professionals, but friends as well?
Absolutely. And Dr. Rollins and I have been teammates, and he's been my mentor for 30 years, and gosh, he's taught me so much during that time. But you do develop a bonding relationship during that time when you work through all kinds of issues, and so that does make it hard to step away when he's still here. And I kind of get a feeling I'm leaving him by himself, but that's not true. We have some good people coming in, but you're right. That's been a good special treat for me to work with him these past 30 years.
Tell you, the best thing about any job is relationships, and those are good relationships. Wow. You may be the only guy in the entire district that knows every teacher, because at some point or another they have to come to your office, don't they?
Yes, that's true. All of them that we've hired in the last 30 years have come through my office, and so that I don't know how many that means, because we hire anywhere between 100 and 125 or 150 a year, but we also lose 25 or 30 a year as well to retirement and resignations and so forth. But I'm sure I've hired well over 1,000, 1,500 teachers during that time.
Do you enjoy that process?
Yes.
Because you're seeing those bright young faces come in there ready to go, don't you?
That is the most enjoyment I get, is giving a teacher their first teaching job. And they've been preparing, working hard, and getting ready to be a teacher. And for me to give them that first teaching job is the thrill of my job.
Is it even more special when you know maybe that person came through the Springdale School District?
Absolutely. It's great to have kids do that. They went to Springdale schools and went to a college, got their degree and certification, and came back and applied for Springdale. This is where they want to work. And so, yes, that's a real plus to hire those kids back.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 40 years in Springdale, longer than that as a living. What are you looking forward to when July 1st comes?
You know, I'm not sure about that. That's why this has been a very hard decision, is because I don't have any immediate plans. Dr. Jones is going to keep working, and I support that 100%. So I don't have any plans right away. I don't have anything lined up to do. I do have a lot of work around the house that will occupy most of my time for the first few months anyway.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you miss the most?
I think the relationship piece, you mentioned that, and you know, we have 85 administrators, and I have a good relationship with all those people, and I'm going to miss that, because now I see those people at least once a month or so, and now I may go for months and never see any of them again. So those relationships with those people and the teachers I see on occasion, I would definitely miss that.
You also are in an unusual position because you work with certified, but you also work with classified, and those are the non-teacher elements. I'll bet you built some good relationships there as well.
Absolutely, certainly have, and we've had a good relationship with our supervisors over the years. We have supervisors for each major classified area, and we've been fortunate to have those people stay with us for a long time. So I do get to know those people quite well, and I respect their work, and we have a classified a committee that meets once a month, and I always attend those meetings with those classified people, and so I get to know them even better by having those special meetings.
You know the ins and outs of this district probably as well as anybody except maybe Dr. Rollins, and you're probably on equal footing there. As you get ready to go to another step of your life and you're looking at parents and community members in the city of Springdale, what would you tell them about the future of the Springdale schools?
I would tell them that it's definitely our best work is ahead of us. The best rewards for the kids are ahead of us, and we need to keep our focus on Springdale Public Schools. We need to hold people accountable, but at the same time knowing that there's a tremendous foundation laid by Dr. Rollins, and some of the best things that are going to happen in this district are still around the next curve, and I would encourage everybody to try to be a part of that and support the schools, and again, just realize that better things are still coming. We have a great school district, one of the best reputations of any district in the state, but it's going to get even better.
Very good. That's Hartzell Jones. What a wonderful treasure he is for the Springdale School District, and we hope you've enjoyed the visits with him the last 2 weeks. We'll be back with more of the program right after this.
Maybe you should get this excited about your education.
Get excited about your education. Make twice as much money with a college degree. It's your future. Go to arworks.arkansas.gov and get to work, Arkansas.
Boy, there's so much going on in the Springdale School District, and who knows more than the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jim Rollins. You're going to enjoy part 1 of a series of interviews with Dr. Rollins, parts 2 and 3 coming up later on shows. But enjoy this interview now with Dr. Jim Rollins. Welcome to the administrative part of the program, and we have our superintendent, Dr. Jim Rollins, with us today. And Dr. Rollins, as always, a lot of things to talk about, but one of the things you're really proud of is that EAST program. 4 schools have it, 2 were nominated for the Founders Award, and 1 actually won it.
Well, I would really want to explain to our viewers today that the Founders Award for the Environmental and Spatial Technology Program, or EAST as we call it, recognizes the top programs not just in our state but in the nation. And the Springdale School District has been at the top of that competition now for some time. And this year, first time in history, our Har-ber High School EAST program won the Founders Award, the #1 spot in the nation, the second time. Mm-hmm. And I'm also very proud of our young students out at Sonora Elementary School, and they were one of the finalists as well. And what a great opportunity that is for a program that's just beginning, and it just shows what kids can do when they're excited and enjoying the learning. Great things happen, and so I'm really, really, really proud of all of our East initiatives. I think all 4 of them were in the top group, and that's what we want. And it is my hope, Rick, that as we can plan and bring these initiatives forward, it'd be a great thing if we could have the East Initiative in each of our schools.
That would be. For those who are unfamiliar with East, it's using technology actually to be involved in the community to help solve problems. And that's what's remarkable is so these students are not just working within the walls of their schoolroom, but they're actually out in the community trying to help solve some challenges.
Well, when kids are connected to the learning and they see the relevance of it, they just give themselves to it as a natural part of the learning process. And we see that demonstrated over and over again. And our kids and our teachers and frankly moms and dads who really are partners in that process are really making this program come to top fruition in our district today. So I'm just excited and really enjoying seeing our kids achieve.
Let's touch on 2 other programs that touch the community as well. At Har-ber, Stowe-Hophius has got this unbelievable program where they're building houses, and those are actually purchased, but they're built by students who are able to go right into the construction business out of high school if they so choose, and the community's involved there because they're actually buying the houses and using them for personal use.
Again, rigor, relevance, kids see the meaning in their work. This is all very career-oriented. Many of these young people will choose a trade as their professional experience in life. The program started with carpentry as the focus, and now we've extended the program, expanded it, if you will, and plumbing and electrical training is coming forward. And just this week, as we were visiting with Mr. Hophius, I think he's laying the foundation to get into heating and air conditioning, and so it is really becoming a comprehensive trade program. And in so many of our initiatives such as this, our community is partnering with us. And when you have business and our teachers working together, you can really do some great things. So yes, the construction management program at Har-ber High School is great as well.
And by the way, in the employment statistics that were just released, construction workers are being hired again, so that's a good deal. You can hire them from Har-ber High School. Let's talk about another community involvement. Springdale High School's IT Academy, for the 2nd year, has worked with Tyson's IT program. They're working together, and these Tyson workers are actually mentoring the Springdale High School students to prepare them for work in the professional world in IT, in technology.
Well, just another great example of partnerships, Rick. And again, when corporate Northwest Arkansas works with our teachers, you see great programs coming forward like the Information Technology program. And what you're really doing is in the through the high school experience, while in partnership with the business community, you're really getting students ready for a great career. And of course, information technology applications are almost universal these days. And so there are great career opportunities available there. And as always, I'm so very thankful for the willingness of our corporate partners to come forward and help us in this endeavor.
You mentioned teachers earlier. We just mentioned a couple, but there are several. 28 Springdale teachers were nationally board certified this year, more than any district in the state of Arkansas. You've got to be proud of that.
Well, I'm very proud of that. And the strength of this school district is clearly our teaching staff. We have, with the addition of these 28 teachers, we now have 111 of our staff that is national board certified. And that's an enormous compliment to the professionalism of our teaching staff. And of course, as teachers put more tools in their teaching toolbox, if you will, the better prepared they are to pull them out just at the right time to help all kids succeed. And I'm so appreciative, and I congratulate our teachers for continuing to grow and to push themselves to get better and better.
Over 1,300 teachers in the district, and you talk about excellence, well over half of them have degrees beyond their undergraduate. Now you're talking about the nationally board certified. Excellence has always been a driving factor with the faculty that you bring into the Springdale School District.
I've long felt that the most important accountability system in education today is that internal accountability. What rises up from the teaching staff itself. And Springdale teachers are the best of the best. And this is just another example of how they continue to work and push themselves to get better.
Speaking of best of the best, you had a recent school board member, not a recent, he's a current school board member, get a great award recently. I know you wanted to talk about that.
Well, our Springdale Chamber of Commerce each year recognizes a Citizen of the Year, if you will. Mr. Mike Luttrell, who's a Springdale product, grew up in Springdale, graduated of the Springdale school system, currently now serving on our Springdale School Board, was recognized as the Springdale Citizen of the Year, and what a great recognition to him. We're all so very proud of him.
And the school board does good work. They oversee a lot of the construction. I thought we should at least touch on all the construction that's still going on in the Springdale School District, and one of the major projects is the new junior high that's being built.
We've got a great school coming forward there. The school will, I think, be made available to the district early this summer. It will open in the fall with an enrollment, I would expect, between 700 and 800 kids. And that will allow us to kind of spread the existing enrollment out. We'd really gotten crowded in some of our junior highs, so bringing a fourth junior high on will really help us. And schools that are now 1,000 or more kids will be able to pull back to 700 or so, and that'll take a lot of pressure off of the schools and give them a better environment for learning. So great new school coming on, and I really want to thank every Springdale patron for making that possible for us, because our region, our community, just like our country, has been through some very challenging economic times, but our citizens saw fit to help us by increasing our local millage and allowing us to bring on 2 new schools, the new middle school this year, the new junior high next year. So parents, partners, thank you for your help.
You've already picked leadership at the top for that junior high school. You want to talk a little bit about Michael Shepard and the assistants he's chosen?
Well, Dr. Shepard has been an administrator in the district now for a number of years, a very talented school leader, actually recognized nationally just a year or so ago as Assistant Principal of the Year, and he was certainly ready and prepared and eager to assume the principal's position. And I know Dr. Shepard will lead the new junior high in very high fashion. And then, of course, he looked internally and saw some of the best assistant principals we had, and invited them, maybe even coerced them just a little bit to come over and join him. But Mr. Coons, Kelly Coons, who has served the district for a number of years at Central Junior High, and Allison Byford, our district technology specialist, will join Dr. Shepard to make up that administrative team at the new junior high school.
New junior high school will be open in the fall, by the way. That's
yes.
right. Dr. Rollins is an absolute wealth of knowledge, no doubt about that, and we've got plenty more to talk with him about, and you're going to enjoy that on future shows. That's it for now, though. Stay tuned for District News. That's coming up next. And until next week, remember, if it's happening now, it's Springdale Today.